Over 100 severe weather reports filed across the Midwest in a single day, and the atmosphere is not even close to done yet. Because today brings another level 3 enhanced risk with a strong tornado threat peaking right around sundown tonight. 7 to 8 tornadoes confirmed yesterday alone in Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Michigan, with nearly 750,000 people watching live. And today, the surface low tracks even more favorably for discrete supercells than it did yesterday. That is not a small thing. And while all of that fires up to the south, an ice storm is simultaneously burying the upper Midwest 18 inches of snow, possible in parts of Minnesota. 4/10 of an inch of pure ice threatening to snap power lines across Wisconsin and Michigan tonight. Same country, same Friday. Two completely different weather disasters happening on the exact same map at the exact same time. Tornadoes and damaging winds south of the line. Dangerous ice and blizzard conditions north of it. And today we are breaking down every piece of it for you. Stick with us, because when we get to the Plain Cities, that is when Friday's full tornado breakdown lands, and the numbers out of that corridor right now should get your full attention. Here is the big picture for Friday, April 3rd. The Storm Prediction Center has a level 3 enhanced risk, the orange zone, posted for southern Iowa, northern Missouri, and a slice of western Illinois. And that is on top of an already active stretch that produced over 100 severe reports just yesterday. Surrounding that enhanced zone is a level 2 slight risk covering Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri, with a level 1 marginal risk extending from northern Texas all the way through Ohio, Indiana, and Pennsylvania. A massive section of the United States is inside some level of severe weather threat today. The tornado threat today is elevated and focused to 5% probability of a tornado in the highest risk corridor near Iowa and Kansas City, with the hatched area indicating some of those tornadoes could be strong, EF2 or higher, peaking between 3 and 9 p.m. this evening. The wind threat is just as serious, a 30% chance of damaging winds in the red zone, with the hatched region flagging gusts capable of exceeding 75 miles per hour, which is technically hurricane force. That kind of wind does not just break branches, it flattens structures and drives debris through walls. The hail threat rounds it out, 15% chance of hail 1 inch or larger across a wide corridor, and the hatched area flags storms capable of producing 2-inch hail. That is baseball-sized. Folks, the kind of hail that shatters a windshield before you even hear it coming. Between the wind, hail, and tornado risk, today is a day to have your weather alerts on and your shelter plan locked in before the afternoon, because once these storms start firing, they escalate from strong to violent faster than you can react. Iowa is in the absolute bullseye today. Storms are already active this morning. The atmosphere recharges through early afternoon, and the real severe weather window opens between 3 and 5 p.m. as isolated supercells fire near the surface, low tracking right over Omaha. The triple point of today's system, where the best moisture, the best wind shear, and the best atmospheric energy all converge, tracks straight through eastern Iowa and the Quad Cities corridor between 4 and 9 p.m., and that is where the highest tornado potential of the entire day sits. The triple point of today's system, where the best moisture, the best wind shear, and the best atmospheric energy all converge, tracks right through eastern Iowa and the Quad Cities corridor between 4 and 9 p.m. tonight. That is where the highest tornado potential of the day sits. A woman in Davenport who has lived through 3 tornado warnings in the past decade told her daughter this morning, "I do not wait for the siren anymore. I am already in the basement by 2 p.m. on days like this." That is exactly the right mindset today if you are anywhere in the eastern Iowa enhanced risk zone, Kansas and Oklahoma. Your severe weather threat fires even earlier, large hail and damaging winds near Manhattan, Wichita, and eastern Kansas counties as early as 4 p.m. loaded with dew points touching 70 degrees in northern Missouri. That is exceptionally deep moisture for early April, and these storms will know what to do with it. Oklahoma City and Tulsa are both under watch level conditions today, with the biggest concern being baseball-sized hail near Elk City, Woodward, and Enid between 5 and 9 p.m., plus a 2% tornado risk covering the eastern half of the state. Y'all in eastern Oklahoma need to have a plan in place before sunset tonight. The southern Oklahoma flooding threat also deserves its own mention. Multiple rounds of storms training through the same areas could drop 5 to 6 inches of rain south of Oklahoma City down toward Lawton overnight. And that is the kind of rainfall total that turns streets into rivers in a matter of hours. Illinois and Indiana today look more like a pop-up summer pattern, isolated strong to severe storms through afternoon and evening, with the higher risk near Quincy, Peoria, and Rockford in the western enhanced risk zone, and Chicago watching for embedded thunderstorms arriving late tonight around 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Northern Texas Dallas sits at 75 degrees with a relatively quiet afternoon. But the Abilene and Wichita Falls corridor gets into severe weather after sunset. The Dallas-Fort Worth metro could see 2 to 4 inches of rain through early Saturday morning. So flash flooding is very much on the radar for tonight. Straight talk before we move on. If you live in a mobile home from Kansas through Missouri and Iowa today, identify your nearest solid shelter right now. A mobile home offers almost no protection from even a weak tornado, and today's dangerous window opens fast after 2 p.m. Plan now, not later. Now, while severe weather builds to the south, here is what is happening simultaneously just a few hundred miles north. Hold on to this, because when we hit the Northern City Roundup, the ice accumulation numbers are going to flat out surprise you. A significant late-season winter storm is hammering the upper Midwest right now, combining heavy snow, freezing rain, and dangerous ice accumulation across central and northeastern Wisconsin, northern Minnesota, northern Michigan, and the Dakotas, all simultaneously. This is not a minor dusting. The snowfall totals are staggering for early April. Some locations in northern Minnesota could see 14 to 18 inches of snow before this system clears. Duluth is looking at several inches, and St. Cloud could pick up over a foot of heavy, wet snow that bends and snaps tree branches under its own weight. The more dangerous element is the ice. Central and northeastern Wisconsin, Wausau, Green Bay, Marathon County, and Portage are under ice storm warnings right now, with freezing rain accumulations up to 0.4 of an inch possible tonight. That number matters more than the snow total. Here is the kicker on the ice. 1/10 of an inch brings down tree branches, 2/10 snaps smaller limbs, and 0.4 of an inch will bring down power lines across a wide area. That is the scenario unfolding in Wisconsin tonight. And it is a genuine power outage emergency. Good grief! This is the second major winter storm to hit Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan in less than 2 days. Communities that already lost power yesterday are facing another round of outages on an already stressed grid. If you are up there, do not wait for the lights to go out to get ready. All right, let's go city by city, moving fast through every region. When we hit the plains and Midwest storm zone, that is when Friday's tornado breakdown gets its full treatment. Listen for your town. Starting in the Northeast, where today is actually a very pleasant Friday. Washington, D.C. at a warm 75 degrees with sunshine. Baltimore at 74. Philadelphia at 72, and Richmond, Virginia at a beautiful 77 degrees. No severe weather, no winter storms. Just a genuinely nice spring day along the mid-Atlantic coast. Moving up the Atlantic corridor, New York City at 70 degrees with some light rain mixing in. Newark and Jersey City at 71, Hartford, Connecticut at 68, Providence, Rhode Island at 66 with occasional showers, and Boston at 65 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Not a bad Friday at all for New England. Inland and northern northeast Pittsburgh at 68, Albany. New York at 62, Syracuse at 58, Manchester, New Hampshire at 58, Rochester at 56, Buffalo at 55, Portland, Maine at 52, and Burlington, Vermont at 50 degrees, a classic cool and cloudy early April day for the northern tier, with no severe weather concerns today. The Southeast is absolutely gorgeous today. Y'all, Florida is winning the weather lottery this Friday, with Miami at 85 degrees and pure sunshine. Orlando at 88, Tampa at 86, and Jacksonville at 82 degrees under mostly clear skies. If you are in Florida today, get outside and enjoy it. Moving up through the southeast Atlanta, Georgia at 83 degrees with scattered thunderstorms and local lightning possible later today. Augusta at 85, Charlotte, North Carolina at 79 with sunshine. Raleigh at 78, Wilmington at 78, and Charleston, South Carolina at 80 degrees, all warm, mostly beautiful, and nowhere near today's severe weather threat. Deep South Columbia, South Carolina at 82. Birmingham at 80, Mobile at 82, New Orleans at 82, Baton Rouge at 84, Houston at 80, San Antonio at 80, Austin at 78, and Dallas at 75 with a clear blue sky. The South is soaking up a gorgeous spring Friday while storm country to the northwest deals with something else entirely. Here's the thing that hits different about today's weather map. You have 85 degrees and pure sunshine in Miami, while an ice storm is dropping trees in Wisconsin and a tornado watch is developing for Kansas City. The United States is running 3 completely different seasons on this one Friday. Memphis, Tennessee at 76 with scattered thunderstorms and a hail risk tonight. Nashville at 74 with stronger storm chances developing. And Little Rock, Arkansas at 75 with a severe storm threat building. Folks in the Mid-South need to track that western storm line coming in tonight because it will be moving through well after dark. Oklahoma City at 72 degrees in the active zone today with tornado watch level conditions developing between 4 and 9 p.m. Tulsa at 70, watching for large hail and organized severe thunderstorms. And Wichita, Kansas at 72, right in the enhanced risk corridor where today's most dangerous storms will fire by late afternoon. Kansas City, Missouri at 70 degrees is in for a stormy Friday evening storms roll in around 6 to 8 p.m. and continue overnight with damaging wind and tornado risks. Anyone in the Kansas City metro with plans tonight needs a shelter destination locked in well before dinner time. This quarter is roaring back tonight. Right here, this is the moment I told you about at the top. Today's tornado threat peaks 3 to 9 p.m. with dew points touching 70 degrees in northern Missouri. A low-level jet ripping at 40 to 50 knots, and a surface low tracking right over Omaha, a textbook-loaded atmosphere for way too early in April. Yesterday, this region saw 7 to 8 confirmed tornadoes in a single afternoon. Today, the ingredients are just as favorable, and the surface low tracks even more favorably for discrete supercell development in Iowa and Missouri, when meteorologists are losing sleep over a setup. This is the kind of week they lose it over. Yesterday, this region saw 7 to 8 confirmed tornadoes in a single afternoon. Today, the ingredients are just as favorable and the surface low tracks even more favorably for discrete supercell development in Iowa and Missouri, when meteorologists are losing sleep over a setup. This week is exactly what that looks like. A storm spotter in Missouri with 22 years in the field said this setup reminds him of a classic trigger pull atmosphere where things go from quiet to violent between dinner and dessert. His advice be in your shelter plan before 3 p.m. in the enhanced risk zone. Do not wait for the siren to start moving. Back to the city roundup, St. Louis, Missouri at 68 degrees, watching for severe storms after 8 p.m. tonight. Indianapolis, Indiana at 62 with a marginal severe risk and pop-up strong storms through afternoon. And Fort Wayne, Indiana at 65, watching for gusty storms with winds up to 60 miles per hour tonight. Chicago, Illinois at 58 today with rain showers and 25 mile per hour gusts, nothing severe right now, but heavy rain and embedded thunder arrive late tonight. Detroit at 50, Cleveland at 55, Columbus, Ohio at 58, and Cincinnati at 60, all under marginal risk with pop-up strong storms possible through tonight. Iowa, Des Moines at 48 under a developing tornado watch for this afternoon. Today is the day. Des Moines. And your shelter plan needs to be ready before 2 p.m. Cedar Rapids and Davenport sit in the heart of the enhanced risk zone with the triple point of the surface low tracking through eastern Iowa this evening. Wisconsin in the ice storm zone, Milwaukee at 38 with cold rain and the winter storm mixing in. Madison at 35 with freezing rain developing on every surface. And Green Bay at 32 under an active ice storm warning with heavy snow and gusty winds. Serious power outage risk for the Green Bay Metro starting tonight. Burn this into your memory for a second. Tornadoes possible in Missouri and Iowa. Baseball-sized hail in Oklahoma and Kansas. A blizzard in Minnesota. An ice storm in Wisconsin. And people in shorts in Florida, that 20 degrees spread across just 200 miles from Des Moines to Kansas City tells you everything about how divided this atmosphere is today. Minnesota and the Dakotas. Minneapolis at 35 under a winter storm warning with ice and snow accumulating 1 to 7 inches. St. Paul at 36 in similar conditions. And Duluth getting buried with multiple inches of heavy late-season snow on top of what fell yesterday. Fargo, North Dakota at 28 with full blizzard conditions ongoing right now. Bismarck at 30 under snow showers. Sioux Falls, South Dakota at 40, sitting on the dividing line between the winter storm north and the severe weather threat south. Omaha, Nebraska at 52 and Lincoln at 54, both watching the severe weather risk develop this afternoon. Both cities are squarely inside Friday's dangerous zone. Mountain West, Denver, Colorado at 50 with clear skies. Colorado Springs at 48, Pueblo at 52, Cheyenne, Wyoming at 42 with strong gusty winds. Billings, Montana at 45 with light drizzle. Missoula at 48, cloudy. And Casper at 40 with blustery wind all day. Nothing extreme out here, just the usual high plains breezy that never really goes away. Desert Southwest Phoenix, Arizona at 88 degrees hot, dry and sunny, which is about as on brand for Phoenix as it gets in April. Tucson at 85, Mesa at 87, Las Vegas, Nevada at 82 with blazing sunshine, and Albuquerque, New Mexico at 65 under a high wind. Advisory with strong gusts, creating hazardous conditions on the highways today. Desert Southwest Phoenix, Arizona at 88 degrees, hot, dry, and sunny Phoenix in April doing exactly what it does. Tucson at 85, Mesa at 87, Las Vegas, Nevada at 82 with blazing sunshine, and Albuquerque, New Mexico at 65 under a high wind advisory with strong gusts creating hazardous conditions on the highways. Let's wrap the city roundup with the West Coast, where today the weather theme shifts completely from extreme to pleasant, a genuinely welcome change after everything we just covered for the central and northern United States. The West Coast is minding its own business in the best possible way today. California doing what California does best in spring Los Angeles at 68 with warm sunshine. Sacramento at 68 and sunny, San Diego at 65 and gorgeous, Fresno at 70 and clear, San Jose at 64, Oakland at 62, and San Francisco at 60, with its classic morning fog burning off by midday. Pacific Northwest Portland, Oregon at 55 with light rain and overcast skies, Eugene at 54, Salem at 56, Seattle, Washington at 52 with drizzle. Tacoma at 50, Spokane at 48 with some cloud breaks. Boise, Idaho at 58, and Idaho Falls at 52 degrees, the typical cool and damp Pacific Northwest Friday. Here is what is driving all of this: a powerful surface low yanks Gulf moisture northward while cold air wraps around from Canada. That combination simultaneously produces severe weather to the south and winter weather to the north. And here is the thing this pattern keeps repeating throughout April. We are not done with this story. For the deep south on Saturday, isolated to scattered severe storms are expected across Tennessee, Kentucky, Mississippi, and Alabama, with a low tornado risk near Shreveport, Louisiana, and just north of Houston. Damaging winds being the main hazard as Friday night's squall line pushes southeast through the morning hours. The winter storm continues into Saturday across northern Wisconsin. The UP of Michigan and parts of northern Minnesota, more snow showers and additional ice accumulation into Saturday night on top of what is already falling right now. If your power went out yesterday and just came back, charge everything you own before tonight. The winter storm continues into Saturday across northern Wisconsin. The UP of Michigan and parts of northern Minnesota, more snow showers and additional ice accumulation into Saturday night. If your power went out yesterday and just came back, charge everything you own before tonight, because this is not over. Here is something worth sitting with. The Storm Prediction Center is already flagging another significant severe weather event for middle and end of next week across the Great Plains, Midwest, and Ohio Valley. This active April pattern is not a one-week story. The atmosphere is going to keep reloading for the same zip codes. The southeast drought is getting concerning almost 2 weeks without meaningful rainfall, and storm systems keep falling apart before reaching the Appalachians. Saturday might bring a few tenths of an inch to Georgia and the Carolinas, but a real pattern change is Still at least a week away. The drought monitor down there is not a pretty picture. Your action plan for today: the dangerous window opens fast this afternoon. Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, and Oklahoma. Today's peak threat is 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. local time. Have a shelter plan in place before noon. Know your county name for tornado warnings. And charge your phone right now before the storm window opens. 4. The hail threat across Kansas, Oklahoma, and northern Texas. Do yourself a solid and get your vehicle under cover before 4 p.m. Baseball-sized hail is possible with the initial supercells this evening. And 2-inch hail dents car hoods and shatters windshields way too fast to react once the storm is overhead. If you are in the ice storm warning zone, Wausau, Green Bay, northern Wisconsin, the UP of Michigan, Minneapolis area, charge all your devices now. Fill your gas tank, stage candles and flashlights before tonight. Losing power after midnight in ice storm conditions is a very real scenario right now. For Saturday's threat across Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York. The severe weather window is 3 to 7 p.m. Know your county. Have a shelter plan at home and at work. And do not assume Saturday is quiet just because Friday is the bigger headline. An isolated strong tornado in Ohio. Saturday afternoon is absolutely on the table. Flood safety for northern Texas and southern Oklahoma tonight. Multiple rounds could drop 5 to 6 inches of rain. 6 inches of moving water can sweep an adult off their feet. And if you come to a flooded road, turnaround. Do not drown. Ain't nothing on the other side worth your life. If this forecast is helpful to you today, share it with someone in Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Oklahoma, or the Wisconsin ice storm zone. A lot of folks in those communities are just waking up to what is heading their way. And that one share today could genuinely make a difference when things turn dangerous. Let's bring it all the way home. Over 100 severe weather reports yesterday. Winds capable of 75 miles per hour today. And 18 inches of snow possible in Minnesota right now. 3 emergencies, 1 Friday. Nobody is ready for how fast this afternoon can escalate. 18 inches of snow possible in Minnesota right now. 0.4 of an inch of ice threatening power lines in Wisconsin tonight. And a tornado threat that peaks right at sundown across Iowa and Missouri. 3 separate emergencies. 1 Friday. Every corner of this country affected by something serious today. This is Tom. The dangerous window opens this afternoon and does not close until Saturday evening. Keep this forecast close. Share it with the people you care about in the storm zones. And stay weather aware every single hour today. The clock on today's severe weather window is already running.